Welcome to Alverian Legends, the channel where we discuss all things amazing about the magical world of Legends of Alveria. If you like today's video, don't forget to check out the Facebook and Instagram pages for weekly updates to the characters and lore. Drop a like on today's video if you like it, and don't forget to enjoy. My name is Lore Master Sire. Sit back and relax while we discuss today's topic. So in the last video, we discussed lightly about some of the lands, kingdoms, and peoples living on the sprawling magical world of Alveria. And in today's video, I thought it'd be kinda nice to go into further detail about one of the most pivotal kingdoms and featured first in the book, Lordfall, starting with one of its 5 major regions, the Lordrin Lowlands. A truly fascinating land housing many shadowy veiled secrets locked away in bloodshed. Memorable feats of legendary prowess sealed into the very heart of the land, riveting lore, and so much more. To begin today's video, we'll start our journey along the sprawling countryside dirt roads towards the very heart of the lowlands. The first grand sight of any weary traveler, crossing upon the burdensome road of life, passing north from the freelands, is that of the Towering Twins. The first kings to ever rule over Lordfall, forever guarding the only passable mountain entrance into their beloved homeland. Torn from the pristine white rock from the monolithic Dragonspine Mountains, and adorned with countless dazzling firestones the size of a young dragon's skull, the near impossible to work with materials were effortlessly carved in resemblance to King Lothar, the wizened warrior, and Lothane, the bloodied prophet. Most prized of all is the unequaled treasure donning their defiant faces. Masterfully crafted red beryl crowns, symbolizing the very blood of the people, embedded with glistening gemstones of panite, reflecting both the beauty of the 3 moons and guiding sunlight. Denizens all across of Lordfall pilgrimage to this holy site to pay their respects by leaving offerings of every treasure or possession that can be spared. A honored customary tradition throughout the kingdom, in which peasants and Liege Lords both might partake in. Standing nearly 100 feet or more above the mythical four-moon Kellan giants, legendary demon lord of the Northlands, few creations can rival its impressive 1,500 feet height. Even that of the titanic Morgren Wall pale in comparison to these godlike statues, earning them the title of one of the 14 wonders of Alveria. Even more legendary is that of their epic tale of preserving in a callous and cold world, which only seemed to want their valorous family butchered to the last, ultimately overcoming every foe before them, their vengeful sight to ultimately have their descendants build one of the greatest kingdoms to span the 3 new horizons. Strangely though, just as with their ancient capital city, whether to the relentless passing of ages, or elsewise, despite their prestigious legacy, immortalized within every Lordrin heart, none, not even the greatest of lore masters, might dredge up a single scroll in reference to when they were born, what deeds they accomplished, or rightly, how they passed. All that is commonly known of them is that they were the greatest minds to ever exist during their time, ascended the throne as twin kings with equal rule, and held on to an unwavering dream of one united kingdom under 4 dragon rule till their dying breath. It is theorized some ancient cataclysmic catastrophe befell upon the young prospering kingdom, only to vanish within the morning light, leaving behind nothing but ash and blood for the lucky survivors to rebuild with. But those are merely stories, I assure you. Moving past the magnificent wonder, the sight before you as far as the eye can see is that of the flowing green fields, sparse villages along seldom traveled dirt roads, thick verdant forests clinging the bank of a legendary river filled with wonder and horrible lurking danger, and the comforting sight of Westfall, home of the Iron Knights, first defense of Lordfall's western borders. The small city rests snugly between the western forests, housing the blossoming fishing village of Elton and the port city of Morton and Lorin, upon the edge of Lord's Bay, and at the feet of a great mountain range, named in pairing with its sister city of Eastfall, easternmost border city, a strategic juncture guarding Iceflow River and the secreted lands across its banks, protecting against incursions from the mountain folk into the lowlands, and also the Lath Hearth east of Life Road. The city of Westfall is built for its same purpose and likeness, but soon took upon a life of its own. Constructed in the later time of the kingdom, during the year 3782 EE by Borin Fordragon, the Peaceful, second of his name, as a frontier garrison to ward off possible incursions from the west. The settlement grew steadily over time to be able to not only protect its own borders, but that of their small neighbors. Within a memorable time, a clutch of decades consisting of growing pains, the settlement grew into a small town with a promising future, then into a commanding bastion of Lordrin power in the far west of their rural lands. The first thing one might notice, outside of its impressive high cold stone walls and watchful towers, lay fields of corn and apple orchards smelling of a flowery aroma among the open plains. The blossoming apples among the orchard, ripened and shining red in the sunlight, radiate an aura of wanting to partake of the delicious fruit and spend your last coin to get another taste of its comfort. But don't let the allure pull one's attention away from the rows of golden glory, neatly tucked away into ordered rows. The tall, enduring stalks protrude from the enriched soil, bearing one of the great native crops wrapped in their golden leaves. Tasting of a pleasing mixture of sweet and salty, the beloved crop doesn't need help among the other produce at market. These are the treasured farms belonging to the proud and reputable Luna Leaf, Morning Dew, and Woodmane families, each of whom make up a considerable amount of farmland in and around the city. These three dominate the available enriched fields, defendable valleys, and close-by pastures around the city and corner the market on their beloved produce. Though most of the family members spend their days under the blistering sun, one of the three families, the Luna Leafs, also claim the title to the profitable bakery within the city, where their prized daughter, Laura, runs and operates its roaring fires. It's boasted that the smell of the cooling pastries are so pungent as to bring in travelers from across the lowlands to enjoy their delectable desserts and treats. Conditioning onward, while following closely along the road into the city, you might encounter a fellow traveler or merchant heading northward as well, while praising the succulent foods and talented, daring chefs of Westfall. Despite its culinary reputation, it's still considered a fledgling, an aspiring large town at best, compared to behemoths such as Lordvale or Darrenhold. Still, however, it boasts a modest and growing population with a thriving place within the food trade. An interesting comfort is that of Autumn's Flame, a Lordrian holiday known to celebrate the last harvest of the year. This cherished festival is an honored tradition which brings all the folk together in celebration of surviving the long, harrowing year and goes back to the city's founding, over 1,000 years before the start of the book. The festival is also in recognition of Aelia, goddess of fertility, agriculture, and new life, for her blessing of bountiful plenty. Famous and powerful deity known to the Syrian faithful, a faith consisting of a unique combination of the followers of the five divine and the four fathers, culminating in an expansive religion covering some of the largest regions within the Central Kingdom, with an army of believers preaching of their holy Lord and Father, Valanox, Lord of Light, and power behind the growing influence of the Church of the Seven Lights. In every part of the kingdom, one will find a shrine, temple, or sacred ground dedicated to gods within the pantheon. Mostly, though, admittingly, they are to honor the greatest, noblest, and powerful among them only, such as Mirrodin, wife of Valanox, goddess of healing, love, and faithfulness; Velia, goddess of all white magic; Valnar, god of redemption, martyrs, and champions, and others. Now, we'll talk more about the Vanguard in another video, but for now, we'll continue with Westfall. Making your way through its grand gates, the clean cobblestone streets, welcoming shopkeepers, and a pleasant feeling of a country home smacks you first in the face. It's a delightful and refreshing sight, that of running hot water pouring into an inviting bath after a long day's journey. A plate full of delicious food lovingly prepared, paired with a dark wine, or, if you prefer, a pint of ale. And most comforting of all, the resounding feeling of neighborly safety of all its citizens, inspiring professionalism of the knights and guardsmen of the city, leaving all of a sensible heart into relaxing their guard enough to enjoy the bounty before them. To end off today's video, we'll talk about the once leader of the Lordrin Lowlands, who traded the dying cries of the battlefield for the quiet countryside. Trained and disciplined soldiers, the guardsmen are unlike those unseen before, donning skillfully crafted iron armor from head to toe, gripping a long sword and large shield. The soldiers of Westfall are the pride and joy of their illustrious commander, a man known well for a misery-laden history of wrathful bloodshed, unparalleled grief for so many lost, and for a battle prowess worthy of a legend. Commander Forlin, Grand Master of the Iron Knights, Iron Hand of the King and Liege Lord of the Lordrin Lowlands, a living memory of a painfully forgotten past of a bygone golden era. The man is a walking legend of honor for one's people, faith in the gods, and an unbreakable will, and the spirit of a true Lordrin warrior. Apart from all titles, being one of the Liege Lords of Lordfall is an unbelievable honor, only given to the 7 elite venerable heroes of Darrenhold after the War of Tears for their unquestionable service to their kingdom, people, and homeland. Being such a recognizable figure, the old hero sought purpose after war, aside from the praise of the public eye. During the Great Rebuilding, Forlin was single-handedly responsible for reconstructing the ranks of his beloved knighthood, lifting the flag of Lordfall over the refurbished walls, and being the honored host of every Autumn's Flame festival, standing alongside that of the Lord of the city. Living within the walled sanctuary, the old warrior eventually exchanged the responsibility of a liege lord for that of a life of peacefulness and simplicity within Westfall's quiet glades and forests, patrolling its untamed wilds and embracing the serenity of nature, while watching the land he loves grow with each passing day. But also, with each passing day, the memory of wars still linger heavily upon his weary mind, keeping him up most nights as traumatizing, vivid scenes of brutality against all things sacred, hopelessness in face of death upon the desperate battlefield, and horrible sights of profanity, of men pleading for their lives before being fed to starving, hellish hounds, women defiled and burnt alive or nailed to trees after their flesh had been stripped, and crows feasting upon the butchered newborns carelessly thrown upon the open field. This, and much more, he had witnessed and endured. A lasting consequence for every survivor of the War of Tears, but none so greatly as the legendary Liege Lords and their king, who rebuilt a kingdom and people within a single lifetime. So in today's video, we talked about the peaceful Lordrin Lowlands, its central city of Westfall, a little about the Zyrian faith, and about one of the legendary Liege Lords. I'll be sure to make videos tailored specifically to each of the 4 faiths of the Central Kingdoms and their unique gods, as well as the Liege Lords themselves. Now, there's so much more to talk about in the Lordrin Lowlands and its rich lore, its shattered history, and fabled legends. But here is where we end today's video talking about the Lordrin Lowlands. Join in next time where we talk further about Lordfall's 5 major regions with the Riverlands, home of the second Liege Lord of Lordfall, Lord Corlon of the renowned Darrenhold. I hope you all have an amazing day, night, whatever time you're watching this video. Thanks for joining in a discussion today talking about the fantastic world of Alveria. You've all been amazing. I've been your honored host, Lordmaster Sire. If you liked today's video, please drop a like and subscribe. Share the video if you can. Every little bit is appreciated. Join me in the next video where we speak further about this rich and amazing fantasy world, its intriguing lore, and so much more.